Every soft version of you was built in comfort, and it will betray you the moment life turns hostile. You have felt it. The plan that collapsed the first cold morning, the resolve that dissolved under real pressure. You told yourself you were disciplined, and you believed it because nothing had tested that belief yet. Comfort-built conviction is not discipline. It is a costume you wear when the weather is good. The road does not care what you planned. The iron does not negotiate with your mood. What you built in ease will shatter on contact with anything that actually matters. This is not a warning. It is a diagnosis. Most men are living inside a version of themselves that has never been stress-tested, never pushed past the point where quitting felt justified. And because they have never been tested, they do not know what they are made of. They have a theory about themselves, and they are protecting that theory by never running the experiment. Pain is not the obstacle to discipline. That is the lie comfort sells you so you stay inside it. Pain is the only forge hot enough to make discipline real. Everything else is rehearsal. You can simulate effort in controlled conditions, but the body and the mind both know the difference between discomfort you chose and discomfort that chose you. Comfort-built discipline collapses the moment conditions turn hostile because it was never tested against anything that mattered. It looks real until the morning it needs to be real. You have seen this in yourself. The streak that ended not because of injury or crisis, but because it rained, because you were tired, because nothing was forcing you forward. That moment is not a failure of motivation. Motivation is weather. It changes hourly. That moment is a structural failure, evidence that the foundation was never load-bearing. So you rebuild, not with better intentions or stronger promises, but with pain, deliberate, chosen, sustained. You put yourself in conditions where quitting costs something real. Every time you push through pain and do not quit, you are not just completing a task. You are rewriting your identity at the level where identity actually lives, in what you do when it hurts. Identity is not what you say in the mirror before training. Identity is what you do at the point where your body is telling you to stop and your mind is building the excuse. The self you want to become requires the destruction of the self you are. That is not metaphor, it is the actual mechanism. The old self has to be dismantled for the new one to stand. The men history remembers did not avoid suffering. They walked into it deliberately because they understood something most men spend their entire lives refusing to understand. They understood that ease is a slow erosion. Every day you choose comfort over resistance, the man you could have been gets a little further away, and the gap fills with regret. Pain reveals your actual values, not your stated ones. What you quit under pressure is what you truly believe about yourself at the level beneath the words. You can say you value excellence, consistency, growth, but when the alarm goes off in the dark and your body resists and your mind negotiates, the truth surfaces without permission. That truth is not fixed. That is the point. Every time you override the retreat, you are changing the truth. You are editing the document that defines what you are capable of. Most men flee discomfort the instant it appears, not eventually, instantly. The first signal of resistance triggers the exit, and the exit is always dressed as logic or self-care. And because they exit every time, they never accumulate the scar tissue that makes future pains smaller. They stay permanently fragile, permanently at the mercy of conditions. Scar tissue is not metaphor either. It is the literal record of stress survived. The body that has been pushed past its limit and recovered is biologically different from the body that has not, and the mind works exactly the same way. Every hard thing you endure without breaking expands the boundary of what your mind categorizes as survivable. The threshold rises, but you have to stay in the cold long enough for the adaptation to register. Most men get out the moment it stops being novel and starts being genuinely hard. Discipline forged through ease produces a man who needs perfect conditions to perform. He needs the right playlist, the right weather, the right amount of sleep, the right mood. Discipline forged through pain produces a man who performs because conditions are imperfect. The resistance becomes the signal to begin, not the excuse to postpone. That is the inversion that changes everything. You stop waiting for conditions to align because you have trained in conditions that were actively hostile, and you survived them. You do not rise to the level of your goals. That phrase is quoted endlessly, understood rarely. You fall to the level of your training, and if your training never hurt, your floor is the ground. Your goals are a ceiling you imagined. Your training is the floor you actually land on when pressure applies. Those two numbers are the only measurement that matters. If you have been training in comfort, the floor is low. And when life applies pressure, and it will apply pressure, you will discover exactly how low in a moment you did not choose. The pain you refuse today does not disappear. It does not evaporate into the comfort you chose instead. It compounds quietly into the weight of a life unlived at full capacity. That weight has a name. It is not sadness exactly, and it is not failure exactly. It is the quiet, suffocating regret of a man who never found out what he was made of, and that regret is the worst pain. Not the burn of a hard set, not the cold of an early morning run, the permanent ache of the version of yourself you never became. You still have time to choose differently, not because the road gets easier, it does not. Because you are still here, which means the forge is still lit and the iron is still workable. The cold morning is the opportunity. The heavy bar is the opportunity. The moment you want to quit is not the enemy of your progress. It is the exact location where your progress lives. You have to go to that location deliberately and repeatedly. Not once for inspiration, not occasionally for a story to tell. Every day, as a practice, as a commitment to the man you are building. The men who built something real did not feel like it every morning. They did not operate on motivation. They operated on the identity they had already forged through the mornings when they felt nothing. That is what you are building. Not a feeling, not a streak, not a physique for photographs. You are building a man who shows up because that is who he is now, not because conditions invited him. The mirror will show you that man eventually, not in the way you expect, not in the reflection of a body, but in the expression of someone who has been tested and has not broken. That expression cannot be faked. You cannot buy it, perform it, or cultivate it through comfort. It only exists in the face of a man who has walked into pain and come out the other side intact. The road ahead is long and it does not flatten. Every level of discipline you build reveals the next level waiting, the next edge of yourself that has not yet been tested. That is not a burden. That is the design. A man without a harder version of himself to become is a man who has stopped growing, and a man who has stopped growing has already begun to decay. So you do not look for the end of the road. You look for the next cold morning, the next heavy set, the next moment of resistance that is asking you who you actually are. Answer that question with your actions every single day, without audience, without applause, without anyone watching to confirm that it counted. It counts because you did it. That is the only ledger. The forge is open. The iron is yours. The only question left is whether you will step into the heat long enough and hard enough for something real to take shape from what you are now.